most illustrious warlords from the Sengoku Mount, Shimazu Hisa hailed from the Satsuma province. He was married to his auntie for a short time. He launched a campaign to unify Kyushu, and tasted several victories. His social group dominated a serious part of Kyushu for several years, however was eventually defeated by Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Once the defeat, Yoshihisa is believed to possess retired and become a Buddhist monk. He died a peaceful death. Known for his affinity for violence and lack of mercy, Masamune was one in all the foremost feared warriors of his era. Having lost the sight in his right eye in childhood thanks to variola major, he had to create further effort to be recognized as a fighter. Once a series of defeats in youth, he slowly designed his name and have become one in all the foremost economical warriors of the time. Once his father was seized by the enemies of his kin group, Masamune retaliated with slaughtering all of them, killing his father throughout the mission. He later served Toyotomi Hideyoshi and Tokugawa Ieyasu, because the head of Datekin Group. Known as the Dragon of Ekigo, Kenshin was a fierce person and also the leader of Nagao kindred. He was notable for his contention with Takeda Shingen. The two fought one another for several years, participating in one-on-one combats many times. He was additionally one in all the warlords United Nations Agency resisted the campaigns of Oda Nobunaga. He was a acknowledged administrator still. Their square measure numerous stories closed the reason behind his death. Initially associate degree ally of Oda Nobunaga and his successor Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Tokugawa Ieyasu was additional agile together with his brain than his steel. When the death of Hideyoshi, he gathered the enemies of Toyotomi kinship group and fought against it to require over the rule. He defeated the Toyotomis within the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600, and had become the primary Tokugawan dictator in 1603. The Tokugawa Stalinism ushered a brand new era of peace in Japan, and dominated until 1868. Leader of a Musera Globulum tribe, Hattori Hanzo was one amongst the rare samurai. United Nations Agency were additionally ninja warriors. He was a loyal servant to Tokugawa Ieyasu. United Nations Agency saved his master a number of times from sure death. His primary weapon was a spear. In his older years, Hanzo became a Buddhist monk. He's one amongst the foremost known warriors in Japanese popular culture, and impressed many in fictional somebody. Often referred to as because the Tiger of Kai, Takeda Shingen was a direful individual. Moreover, as an author, he fought in various battles. Within the fourth battle of Kawanakajima, he met his rival Yusugi Kenshin during a one-on-one fight. Moreover, he was one amongst the only a few warriors United Nations Agency tasted any success against Oda Nobunaga and had power to prevent him. However, Shingen died in mysterious circumstances in 1573, when Nobunaga consolidated power. Often called the somebody who surpassed death, Honda Tadakatsu was one amongst the fiercest warriors Japan has made. One amongst the four heavenly kings of Tokugawa, he took half in additional than 100 battles, to be ne'er defeated in any of them. His major weapon was a spear called Devil's Darning Needle Cutter, that galvanized worry in each opponent. Tadakatsu fought within the decisive Battle of Sekigahara, that junction rectifier to a replacement era in Japanese history. Perhaps the foremost celebrated samurai someone over the years, Miyamoto Musashi was one in every of the best swordsmen Japan had ever had. His first duel was within the age of 13. He fought within the battle between the Toyotomi kin against the Tokugawa kin, on the facet of former, ending up defeated. He later traveled on Japan, winning various duels against powerful opponents. Musashi's most celebrated duel was in 1612, during which he fought against master fighter Sasaki Kojiro and killed him. In later years, he spent longer for writing, and authored the Book of Five Rings, that details numerous sword fighting techniques. The successor of Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi was a strong ruler in person. Born during a peasant family, he slowly ascended to power along with his skills up and on the battlefield. He dominated over a significant part of Japan from 1585 till his death in 1598, though he never earned the title of Japanese. Hideyoshi made the large Osaka Castle, and waged battles to beat Korean Peninsula and China, albeit unsuccessfully. Before long, when his death, his tribe was destroyed. One of the foremost placeable person in Japanese history. Oda Nobunaga was a retracted leader further. In 1560, he killed Yoshimoto Imagawa UN agency, tried to acquire over Kyoto and set the inspiration of the unification of Japan. He created use of firearms in battles, a completely unique plan at the time. His death was from an act of betrayal by one among his own generals. Akechi Mitsuhide, UN agency, set fireplace to the temple he was resting at. However, Nobunaga committed suicide, a lot of honourable thanks to die.